Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at the new Cetitan with a Powder Snow in the Open Great League. This Pokemon climbed quite a few ranks by getting Powder Snow exactly 235 ranks compared to last season, which is quite wild. Getting into the top 100 for the Great League, which kind of means it is viable. Like definitely top 100, all Pokemon in the top 100 for the Great League I would say are Pokemon that you can easily play and have a great time with in the Open Great League. Thing is, the Pre-evolution Cetoddle, I always want to say it's a Cetoddle and people are just making fun of me, so I think it's a Cetoddle, is actually 20 ranks above Cetitan, so maybe worth picking up the Cetoddle, as this Pokemon needs a fully XL candy though, like you have to have like one at level 51 as well for that one, so maybe if you want to get some XL candy for this thing, definitely worth for the Cetoddle. Maybe I actually can showcase it eventually on this channel as well. I know that I showcased it before because people send me some battles. If you want to send me some battles, link is always in the description down below for spicy, interesting battles, like stuff like this that I usually would not be able to showcase because I don't have the stuff. I always like to showcase it from you guys, as we're going to be able to have a clean sweep here in the first game without even using Cetitan. So, how did this team go? Quite well actually. Like, I went positive with this team. I think I had a total of, like, again, every single battle that I did with this team is going to be in this video, which people always kind of like, so here you go. All the bad leads, all the good leads, everything is going to be in here. I think I went 6, 1, and 3, so like I had 1 draw, 6 wins, and 3 losses, which is totally fine, I feel like, with a team like this, which was not really well thought of. Like, I just like tried to find a team that's kind of good for the Titan. I feel like this team definitely did a job, did quite well, to be fair. Like, I battled a lot of very good trainers here today as well, so I'm kind of happy with the results I get with this team here. Still, I had like some issues against some certain Pokemon eventually here, but it is what it is. Still, fun team to use, for sure, something that you can try out if you want to try out Cetitan. Would really recommend you this team. Very cool team, for sure. Anyway, what might be a little bit of an issue can be sometimes the Typhlosion, but not if you have so much energy. And this is the funny thing here as well. I don't think the opponent ever really realized how much energy I really had on the Feraligatr. Yeah, like they decide to go ahead and go up to like 100 energy on their own Typhlosion. That's great for them. I don't care too much about it because it just can go for another charge move and say goodbye to them. And as they're going to have in the back the 1 HP Annihilate, I think we can win this game. So far, so much nothingness, I guess, out of the Cetitan. Cetitan didn't have any kind of play so far. Speaking of any kind of play here, the Lantern might be a little bit of a trickier one for us. Like, Lantern definitely is going to be a little bit of a trickier one. They decided to go for a Surf, and they have one of the hardest answers to the Charger bug in the back in the Gligar. Basically, the idea for this team, I did not really have a good idea for this team. I was trying to kind of find something that is good in the lead against like Fire-type Pokemon now, where Typhlosion is going to be more around, and just kind of try to find Pokemon that kind of fit in with the Cetitan. Cetitan being weak to fighting types, most common fighting type is of course the Annihilate. We have a lead that can deal with the Annihilate, and a Sazorb with the Charger bug that can also deal with it. So like basically, even if your lead goes down with this team, you're still kind of fine against anything that is not a Rock or Fire-type Pokemon. Rock or Fire-type Pokemon are kind of difficult with a backline. You kind of need your Feraligatr for that. But as you can see, the opponent is going to have the Lantern here again, and I don't think there's a chance for me. I think this was just too much of a hard counter matchup for me. Don't think there's anything I can do about it. I can let the move go through here, most likely. It is honor. I actually going to use a shield here on the Surf, but yeah, we even have some lag here, which you see as well. We both went for 5 fast moves, but I don't even get a fast move through, and at this point I was like, yeah, just gonna give up on this one. Next opponent, we're going to have a Charizard in the lead, which is going to be an interesting matchup. This is going to be something where it is actually really nice to have the normal variant of the Feraligatr over the Shadow variant. You see me quite often like choose different kind of variants of Feraligatr depending on the team. Kinda, if I want to use Feraligatr in the lead, I feel like the normal variant is just a little bit safer, so that's why I like it here quite a lot. If I use a Sazorb, I feel like the Shadow variant is a little bit better. If I use the closer, both variants are kind of equal, I feel like. So kind of for you, if you have the normal and the Shadow Feraligatr build, you kind of can judge by this kind of on how to play the Pokemon as well, and when you kind of want to have what kind of variant of it. Anyway, are we going to be able to take a move here from the opponent? Sand Session, I kind of want to get some energy here from the opponent as well. by going to the Cetitan, going for the full farm down. We have to hope that there's something in the back that we can deal with. And honestly, Cetitan had quite a decent book, which I found quite nice as well. Which you see here as well, counter is still adding up, but it does not do as much damage as I expected. We will see the 9-slash going to connect, going to do some decent damage, as we can still retaliate here with 1 avalanche. There's still have a shield left, not anymore, as we can now try to go for that discharge. I was thinking that the Charizard would be way lower than they actually were though. And as you're gonna see, we need 3 more Volt Switches to knock them out. We can go for that, but it's going to be the draw that I talked about before as well. Still going to be fine here. We're going to have the Empoleon in the lead, which is going to be a Pokemon where you can at least go for 1 Hydro Cannon against. This is going to be able to do quite some decent damage, and it's a very neutral matchup. Like, they have resisted fast move damage, I have neutral fast move damage, they have neutral charge move damage, I have resisted charge move damage. It is kinda an equal matchup, usually a matchup though that the Feraligatr should be able to win, as we generate energy a little bit faster than the opponent. We can let the move go through actually here if I wanted to, and I do let this move go through, and so they swap out into the Sableye, which is quite nice for me, as now I can go ahead and go for the Hydro Cannon, getting the shield from the opponent, final shield here, gonna go through. Also, by the way, if my voice sounds a little bit different here, I just late, and honestly, like, I talked quite a lot in videos today, so yeah. It is what it is. We're going to see here the Avalanche coming through, we're going to be able to knock out the opponent, and we will see what's coming in next. It is going to be actually the Empoleon, spoiler alert, which is a hard wall, usually to the Titan, but because we already got it quite low, the Body Slam is going to be enough to knock them out, and we can see in the back Gligar coming in. This is not going to be a great matchup for that Gligar. Gligar is going to go down here after quite a little bit of damage from the Powder Snow, plus the Body Slam, plus we still have the other Pokemon, the Bug type in the back here with the Charger Bug, and so we're going to easily be able to just go for an Exeter, knock them out, and win this game. So good game there to the opponent. We can move on to the next one. Charger Bug in the lead is going to be quite an awkward one. What you kind of want to do is you kind of want to go for 1 Hydro Cannon first, because you're always going to get there before they can go for a charge move. This is just going to give you 50% of the health, and that's quite a decent deal in my opinion. But if they have a Gligar in the back, that's kind of an awkward one, because again, we're kind of getting walled here from the opponent, and it's kind of tough to come back from those matchups. As we're going to see here, we can at least go for another, Exeter, trying to get them low. Exeter is the best move that you can go for. Both are actually single resisted, which is so kind of funny. I don't know, like, for me, I feel like it is quite an interesting choice for Niantic to make something like Electric against Ground not even worse for Electric type Pokemon, because in the main series games it just like does plain 0 damage against them. But here, as you're gonna see, the opponent is going to still be able to go for a charge move against me. I'm going to use a shield here as Dig would do quite a lot of damage, and they have a Feraligatr in the back. Not too shabby for us, because he can go for the Body Slam spam, but we're still not in a great spot, as we're gonna try to catch a move here, which does not work out. They have the Charger Bug still, and so they can just go ahead, let the move go through here. It's going to be a discharge. I was hoping for them to not go for the discharge, but trying to be a little bit of a cheaper one for going with the Exeter, but they didn't. And so I'm forced to let the discharge go through here as well, hoping they still would have enough in the tank, basically, to knock out the opponent's Feraligatr. Spoiler alert, I do not, and so I'm just going to concede this battle, and we can move on to the next opponent. Let's see what they're going to run. We're going to have Feraligatr against the Dragonair in the lead. This was actually an interesting game, I think. I think I still remember this game. I think that was quite a wild one, so stay tuned for this one. We're going to see here that the opponent is going to have the Body Slam, going to do some decent damage against us as I swap out into the Toxapex. Great for us. We have only one real answer against Toxapex. I honestly feel like I make a mistake by not shielding the Sludge Wave here, because it's an obvious Sludge Wave and does quite a lot of damage, and even if they're going to align their Dragonair against us, we would have still the neutral damage of the Exeter. Like this, we are forced to go for the back-to-back charge move with our Charger Bug here, with the discharge coming through. They can go for the full farm now with their Dragonair, but I can at least go still into my Cetitan and get some nice farm. The thing is here that I still have 2 charge moves stored on our Feraligatr, which is quite nice, and they have the Azumarill in the back. And this matchup is actually kind of good. Like, our fast move is resisted, they are all kind of neutral. But look at the Body Slam spam from the Cetitan. Body Slam being a very strong charge move from the normal type is going to be able to just charge so fast against the opponent that we can use a shield here. we might have to try... No, I don't think LilyKatchum is the right call. I don't know really what the right call is here though for the Feraligatr, but the Switch Cloak is coming up for the opponent again, and the Body Slam is gonna get the final shield. I can go for another one, going to be able to connect again here and do quite some decent damage. As the opponent decides to swap out for whatever reason, I can just go for another charge move and knock them out here as well. And now we can just wait until the opponent throws. As they're going to throw here the Play Rough, I know that they need 2 more fast moves to go for another charge move, and so I can just go for 1 fast move myself and go for the back-to-back Hydro Cannon to clean up this game, as Feraligatr is going to be able to knock out the Azumarill and win us this game. Next one coming up, let's see what they have. They're going to have the Deoxys in the lead. Quite a neutral lead here. I was expecting, based on, I think was the Ionix video, that there's an Umbreon in the back, and maybe, I don't know what it was. I think it was like some kind of Ice type, I think Dugong as a say swap. That was what I kind of was expecting at this point. That's why I decided to let the move go through, because I thought maybe like shielding up my Charger Bug would be very beneficial. Turns out I was completely wrong. They're going to have a Carbink here in the back, and you see my backline, you see the opponent's Carbink, and you're gonna see as well that I'm going to struggle quite a bit against this Pokemon, especially if they use 2 shields against me, which they do. And so, yeah, I am going to be in a quite awkward spot here. As you're gonna see, I'm gonna try to go ahead and go for another Avalanche, but at the end of the day, what is really going to happen here? I can still go for the Avalanche and get like a lot of damage onto them, but still have the coverage of the rock typing here for both of my Pokemon in the back. And so they swap onto the Deoxys, giving me some options at least with my Charger Bug. As I go straight for the charge move, I can even over for at least 1 fast move here, maybe even 2. Let's see if I'm going to go for 2. I decide to go for 2 and go for the CMP tie here instead, which I can win against the Deoxys defense. And so I can knock them out. But we have to see what they're going to go into next. It is going to be very likely the Carbink, I mean. Yeah, the Charger Bug is already on the field. As we can go for that Discharge, dishing out quite some decent damage. And I can even reach the Exeter, which I didn't even know that this would be the case. But I'm quite happy about this, as we can now knock them out. And it's going to be in the back the Stunfisk. There's one way of still winning this if I can survive on Rock Slide being super effective. We already at half of our HP. I doubt this is going to happen, and so, yeah, that's going to be a goodbye for the Cetitan, and we can move on to the next opponent. Annihilate in the lead is going to be, again, a matchup that is kind of decent, but something that I learned here today is that if they're going to have Annihilate and we have the normal variant of the Feraligatr, they actually win the Zero Shields. They're always going to get to a Shadow Ball just before we are going to be able to get the knockout with our Shadow Claw, but as we will see here, I'm kind of okay with that. And they have the Credillia in the back. We have some lag here. Credillia is quite spicy. Running Grass Knot and Rock Slide is quite an interesting one. I just wish there would be a better Grass type fast move, like a really good Grass type fast move, like a 4-turn Grass move or whatever. I don't really care too much about it, but like something that is like really decent would be really cool for a lot of them, because I feel like unless they have Hawaiian Whip, like Grass type Pokemon are quite bad. And so, yeah, I really hope that we're gonna see in the future some better Grass type fast moves. Maybe put Leafage 1 more damage up or something like this, I don't know. But here at least we're going to be able to get some extra damage into the opponent, as they can try to go ahead and go for the full farm down with the Cetitan now. Cetitan going to shit up the move. It is actually the Grass Knot, which is not the ideal play for the opponent. But they have a Dugong in the back. And so it's Ice type against Ice type. They have the neutral Drill Run, I have the neutral Body Slam. But they're very likely gonna go for some baits first, because they need to drop my attack first. But no, they decided to go for the Drill Run, which I was kind of confused about. But I'm okay with that, because I feel like there's not really a lot the opponent can do about it anymore. As we're gonna see here, the Body Slam is just connecting like one after the other. And this is going to be able to get them so low that for sure my Feraligatr can just go for the full farm then as well. Like, they're energy dry at this point. This Titan goes down, but the Titan did a job. We can go for a charge move against the Credillia, not really having to risk anything here. And so this is going to be an easy knockout, farming down the opponent, and we can move on to the final battle of today. If you're still watching to this point, then let me know down below in the description in the comment section, of course, what is your favorite Ice type Pokemon? I honestly feel like Ice types are kind of an awkward one. Ice type is actually, by the way, the typing that is the least common in the Pokemon world, which is quite interesting, as Dragon types are way more common than Ice type Pokemon. But I'm not too sure. I feel like the new Ice Dragon type Pokemon Baxcalibur is kind of funny. I like the Frigibax quite a bit, so maybe I'm gonna go for that small boy. But ice types, I feel like are kind of weird, right? Like maybe a Lapras might be your favorite one, maybe a Dugong might be your favorite one. But definitely for Superior, that Pokemon doesn't really like our backline at all. We're going to be able to go ahead and take that Aerial Ace quite easily. We can go for a double Exeter, and judging by how the opponent places one by letting this move go through, but as you're gonna see after this, Aerial Ace is going to hit us. They're going to play it a little bit in an interesting way here, as we can go for a quite decent overfarm. They're going to go ahead and go up against the Exeter here and going to use a shield. That means I have to use a shield as well. They're very likely going to have a flying type Pokemon in the back, and as you're gonna see here, it is going to be the Shadow variant of Skarmory. It's so much better that this is the Shadow variant, because like this, we're gonna put them into farmland range, and this is going to be it for today's video. Again, not scamming you at all. I actually got a 4-1 set here with this team, as you can see here. No cut, no nothing. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.